Hello, welcome back to Tales by Inyolua. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. But if you're coming here for the first time, welcome. Where have you been? We've been waiting for you. Come back next time in subsequent videos. So this is Tales by Inyolua, and I am Inyolua. Without further ado, let's get into the tale for today. So many years ago, in my church, somebody new just came into the church. A lady, very to me, and to everybody, she was very pretty. But I don't know if that was why I was attracted to her. But immediately she came into the church, as I saw her, I was captivated. Like I was lost. I just went to meet her, which is very out of character for me. Like I rarely ever approach somebody first. But I went to meet her, and instantly we started talking. We just clicked. Making I met her, we just clicked, and that's the rest. They will say is history. So ever since we met ourselves and clicked that day, in fact, she was much older than me, so I just call her, and let me know if you say her full name, but let me just say Auntie K. So let's just call her Auntie K throughout this video. So every time I'd come to church, I'd go stay with her. Coincidentally, our house was opposite the church, so very, very close. So anytime we finish from church, I would go to her house. I just noticed that I wanted to do everything just the same way Auntie K was doing it. Like if she put her hand inside fire, then there's every likelihood I'm going to put my hand inside fire. Everything she was doing, I wanted to do. Now I understand that it was just how do I explain it? It's just like the fact that children are very impressionable and children always want to copy. But I'm very grateful that this was a Christian lady and a believer. Let me say believer. Why I say believer is because we have some Christians now that their lifestyles are not in line with the living Christians. But she was a believer, her lifestyle was wonderful, and I'm very grateful that she was that kind of person. Because I imagine if she was not that kind of person, but I still wanted to be exactly like her, I would have ended up becoming maybe another kind of person. But let me describe one particular scenario. Okay, so she traveled abroad, and before she went, she told me that she was going to get me clothes and she was going to bring stuff for me. In fact, I was happy, like I was ecstatic. She came back, told me to come to her house. I went to her house. She brought out this bag with different clothes. I was just trying on, like I was so grateful, so happy. And I just noticed she was just quiet for some time. I said, what happened? She now said she wants to confess something to me. I said, what? She said that she didn't buy the clothes from abroad. That when she went, she was very busy. I think she went for work. And she was very busy and she didn't have time to go and buy them. But when she got back, she went to a supermarket and got me those clothes. So me, I was like, it's fine, there's no problem. As long as they are new clothes, wherever they are from, it doesn't really matter to me. They are new clothes, they are wonderful clothes, I'm fine. But she was like, she just wanted to be honest with me. Because if she did not tell me, I would have just assumed that she got it from abroad. And that day, I was just like, she even made a statement. She told me that every time, whenever I have an opportunity to be honest, that I should be honest. That if she didn't tell me, some people would say that he's not lying. You not just share some specific information. But she made me understand that day that omission is also lying. If somebody leaves a place with an impression that is not true, an impression that you could have corrected but you didn't, then it is wrong. It meant, I don't know if it's lying, but she made me understand that it is wrong and I shouldn't do it. That day was the day I learned that I would never lie. Like if I can't help it, I will not lie. And I don't like when people lie to me. I feel like that was the day that lying just became very upsetting to me. If you lie to me, the way it is lying to enter me is different from every other offense that you can ever offend me with. And that day, I just sat down and started thinking that just the same way I want to be exactly like Auntie K, I want to do everything like her, I want to speak like her, I want to talk like her, I want to do things like her. There are so many other people out there that people also want to be like. And something happened that made me realize how very true that is. I just noticed that my sister always wanted to do everything I was doing. Like she would copy me. If I shift like this, my sister would shift like this. One day it just pissed me off. I'm going to make a statement. You should be very grateful that you even see someone that wants to be like you. And it made me remember the story that I just shared. The fact that a lot of us, it's like it skips our mind, or we are not very conscious of the fact that people around you are watching you. And a lot of times when people make that statement, say, be careful what you do, people are watching you, we always feel like it's because they are watching me because they want to judge me, or they are watching me because they want to criticize me. But what if, like, hear me out, what if there's a possibility that when people watch you, they're also watching to learn from you? What if there's a possibility that there are people that are looking at you that you don't even realize that your actions influence? What if when you wake up in the morning to read your Bible, you remind your roommate to read a Bible? Like, you may not see anything, you may not talk, you may not even notice it, but there are very minute and tiny little ways that your actions also influence other people's actions. And it just makes me want to state this, that you don't have to have a huge platform, or you don't have to have millions of followers before you can be an influencer. In your own little space, you could be influencing more lives than you can imagine. You could be making an impression on people that you don't even know. It might be that young child in your church, it might be maybe just your siblings. If those are the only people that your life is influencing, I feel like you should be very careful of the kind of life that you're living. So let's look at this in the Bible. We're going to look at 1 Corinthians 11 verse 1. 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 1. And Paul says here, KJV, be ye followers of me, even as I am of Christ. ASV says, be ye imitators of me, even as I also am of Christ. There's another version that I really love. It says, follow my example, even as I follow the example of Christ. The first time I ever read that scripture, my first impression, I'm sorry Lord, I'm sorry Paul as well. My first impression was, Paul is just, in fact, Paul is proud. Paul just sounded cocky to me, like, why should you be telling us to follow you? I do think you are that perfect. But later, now I get to understand that Paul was not saying that it was perfect, but I believe that Paul had already made up his mind to follow Christ exactly, like to do everything exactly like Jesus Christ would do, just so that he could be able to make this statement that whatever I do. This statement was also most likely a check, so that every time Paul wants to do something, or Paul was about to speak in a certain way, you remember that I already told these people to follow me, and I already told them to do everything the same way I'm doing it. This thing I'm about to do, if they do it as well, would they be following Christ? And I think that that's a mindset that each of us should have. Whatever you're doing, before you speak, before you take a specific action, be very, very careful. Don't think it of, oh, people are watching me to judge. Also check, is there anybody that I could be making an impression on? Because there's any possibility that after the fact, after you've done it, you might repent, God might convict you, or you might just realize that what I did was wrong. But what other person that you've already made think that this thing is right, if she's doing it, or if he is doing it, then it must be okay. I think all of us should be like Paul. We should make up our minds to be followers and imitators of Christ, so that anywhere we are, we can boldly say, do what I'm doing. And if you do it, then you'll be following Christ. I hope that we've learned a very important lesson. Of course I have, because now that I told the story, I just remember. It's like I'm learning the lesson afresh. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel so that every time I post a new video, you will be notified. Bye.